prior to this, I was so sure Peter was gonna get it that I had told Chip, I was like, yo, we should, because prior to this, we didn't have this handoff bull crap, right?
Yeah.
I came up to Chip and I essentially was like, hey, you know how the Japanese Sentai always do like the Red Ranger pass off? Well, we always have a panel at Morphicon. Why don't our panel lead into, like, why doesn't our panel lead into their reveal, you know, and hand them off?
Ah, so you're the one who,
and it was my fault because I was like, this makes sense. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to get to say my brother's name. Like, this is going to be dope. And so when that happened, I was like, oh, and I forgot all about that. Come the day of the, this is a week before Peter and I have this event that we were supposed to do together because we already had like social media following, right? So we were doing this thing and then people want to take photos with us. I'm like, sure, totally, let's take photos. And this kid, oh, poor kid, I feel so bad. He came up and was like, hey, can we do the It's Morphin pose? And my face just drops and I like am so pissed because I'm like, don't remind him. You know what I mean? I was like, don't freaking remind him. And I got so mad that I remember the photo. It was like just me standing there and I was so upset. And it's out there somewhere. I don't know where it's at online, but it's out there. Poor kid is like trying to do this and Peter's doing this with the saddest face. Apparently I find out now because he was like, I feel bad for lying to you. He had the saddest face, right? And then, so that happened a week before and then the event and we lived together at the time. So Peter was like, puts on this like red polo. He's like, hey, I got an audition, call back for Target. So I'm gonna go do that. And he like left at like 8 a.m. in the morning or something. I was like, that's so early for a callback on a Saturday. I was like, nah, whatever. But I was like upset, right? And I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta go to Pasadena and do this thing. And so I get there and we're in this room and they put the new cast in the room next to us. And they were like, don't go into the other room. Like, that's new cast. And I was like, don't tell us that. I didn't care because I was like, I don't want to see who it is. Them all. And then, of course, Michael and Brandon and Davi, naughty boys, were like, we're gonna go check it out. I was like, go ahead, man. I don't care. They go to check it out. And come back. And I was like, so who was there? I'm like, oh, there was this girl, white girl with blonde hair, like Hispanic kind of. I was like, okay, yeah. I remember her, Christiana, yeah. And he's like, and then there was this guy, kind of Indian maybe, not sure. And I was like, okay, I don't remember that. And then he kept saying a couple of names and I was like, what about the Asian? Like, who's the Asian? They're like, oh, we didn't see any Asian, but there was only 4 of them. And I was like, okay, all right, no Asian, huh? Okay, so then I go to do this event and I'm doing it. I'm enjoying talking about the, you know, whatever. And then I forgot that we were doing the thing. So like, oh yeah, now we're going to announce the new cast. I was like, oh shit. And they're handing out everybody envelopes. I didn't get one. Not yet. And I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. I'm not in the right mind to do this. They're saying all their names. And I remember when it came down to me, they handed it and I opened the paper. And I swear to God, this is why it took so long for me to say it, was because I read it and was like, I'm so delusional right now that I'm seeing the name that I want to see on this paper. I've lost it. I'm actually gone. It wasn't until Brennan with his big gorilla hands smacked me on the back, was like, dude, say his name. And I was like, is this real? And then I tried to say his name. It didn't really come out. It was like, and everybody was like, the ones who don't know who Peter is was like, who is it? What's his name? Why is he? But I didn't know. And so essentially what happened was after I got that call from Chip, that night, Peter got called. And Peter was like, yeah, what is it, Chip? What do you want? Because he knew, right? He was like, hey, so I'm just messing with, like, are you with Yoshi? And like, no, we drove separately. Well, I was just messing with him. You got the role. I want to mess with Yoshi. This was all Chip's idea.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why I like pointed at Chip. You can see if you see the video, I'm like, you. He's like, but he was like, essentially, you got the role, but we're going to mess with him. So you got to keep it from him for 2 weeks. Can you do that? And he was like, yeah, I can do that. And then apparently when they ran into the new cast room, Peter was there. He dove under the table. Like as soon as the door was opening, he dove under the table because he was so like, But man, I was like, y'all had me fooled. I honestly, when I saw them all come out one by one, because I kept seeing the people, right? And I was like, where's the Asian person? And I was like, it's got to be an Asian girl because there was no Asian guy that was better than him. And then when he came out, when there was no Asian girl and I was like, blue is left, I was like, there's going to be an Asian guy and it's not my brother's name. I'm going to be so pissed. And that's why when I saw it, I was like, yep, nope, I've lost it. I can't. I'm like, what is the actual name on here? I was like, guys, help me out here. I'm gonna sound so stupid when I say his name and it's not him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I totally thought I was hallucinating. It was to a point where it was like, but that's, probably there's no way that moment, like nothing's gonna break that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing beats that moment.
Yeah.